Hello. Welcome to the only AEW recap show where one guy never wears an AEW t-shirt. How are you doing today? I don't know which guy that is, but how are you today?
I don't either. Weird.
What shirt are you wearing? Let's get this out of the way right away. What shirt are you wearing? You are wearing the Elite shirt. That is not an AEW shirt.
That's true. I'm representing. This is not an AEW shirt.
It was no, I mean that's true, right? It's not an AEW shirt. I think that was from before AEW came out.
That was from before, correct?
Yeah. So you're not wearing an AEW shirt, whereas I am wearing the Balor Club official AEW shirt.
Really? Yeah. Balor Club. I've never heard of this club and our person who it's representing.
The official t-shirt of the NXT champion of AEW, Finn Balor.
I never heard of this NXT division.
Yeah. It's new. Don't worry. It's on
new.
It's on Elevation.
Oh, you're watching all the shows now?
I'm watching all the shows.
Tell me what happened on Elevation then. Other than the fact that this NXT division seems to be exclusive to Elevation.
One of the Seidel brothers had a match, probably.
Oh, okay. And then?
Probably somebody from SCU as well. Covering all the bases. Anyway, what do you think?
There were some wins and some losses.
Yeah. What did you think of this Dynamite?
I thought it was good.
Really? Okay. I thought it was okay. It was average. I wouldn't say it was bad. Wouldn't really say go out of your way to watch this either, you know?
The matches were good, but there was some real head-scratching moments for me outside the matches, and I'm sure we can get into that.
Yeah.
I mean, especially towards the end, but yeah.
Okay, so we'll get into it, but so the first match, the opening of the show is Kenny Omega versus Matt Sydal. And, you know, Kenny Omega is one of the top 3 wrestlers in the world. Pretty much anybody you ask. Matt Sydal is also very, very good, but something I don't like about AEW nowadays is that they're putting on a lot of matches on Dynamite where you really have no doubts on who's gonna win the match. Like, even though they announced that if Matt Sydal wins, he's gonna get a championship match against Kenny Omega, we pretty much know he's not gonna beat Kenny Omega. So that lowers the enjoyment for me just a little bit, you know?
That's a fair point. Yeah, there was no scenario where I saw Matt Sydal winning, unless there was interference. But even then, that was a really outside chance, because if they interfere and Matt gets a title shot, what does that mean for Moxley, even Christian Cage, as much as I don't necessarily want him competing for the belt right now? But there's so many people that they have lined up to go for that title. It would be weird that Matt Sydal would be the first person in line, right? So you're right. I get it.
Yeah, so although I gotta say there was one point in this match where there was a little bit of doubt.
Which one? When? There was a lot of false finishes.
So we'll go over it. So Kenny Omega versus Matt Sydal. So the biggest move of the match for Seidel, at least the first, you know, it was kind of back and forth in the beginning, but for the most part, they were just going through the motions. I mean, everything looked good and everything looked nice, but there wasn't any point in the match where it's like, oh, it might end right here. Anyway, Matt Sydal hits a lightning spiral, and then this move was really cool. He tries a Meteora off the top, but then Kenny catches him and turns that into a buckle bomb. He hits another power bomb and a running knee to the face. He goes for the one-wing angel, but Matt counters into a poison Rana. He goes for the shooting star press. Kenny's able to whack him off the ropes, and Matt lands on the corner. And then with him sitting on the corner on the turnbuckle, Kenny jumps up, hits a big V trigger. He tries another one-wing angel, but it's countered into a victory roll for a 2.99 bar. And I swear to God, I was like, that was 3. And the crowd thought it was 3-2, but they kind of got me.
Yeah, you're right. That was about as razor thin close as you're gonna get. I was like, was that a 3? I had to do the 10-second rewind just to see, just for sure, and that was a 3. But the ref was like, nope. just hovering over. It's like, hey, you gotta kick out, man.
Yeah. So after that, Kenny hits another V trigger, one-wing angel, and he gets the 3. So this match was really good, but like I said, it lowers the enjoyment a little bit for me, just because we know Kenny's gonna win, and that's not, that's not anything to I don't want to downplay it too much, but I know he's gonna win.
No, I get it. It can be predictable because
and it's not a knock on them. It is the world champion. He shouldn't lose anyway. So, but let's just say they put him in against well, they wouldn't put him against Moxley, but let's just say it was Kenny Omega versus Moxley. Then it's well, even though he's a champ, we think maybe Moxley might win, but
50-50. Yeah,
we're pretty sure Matt Sydal is not gonna win.
But. Well, you bring up when you go back to when you were talking about if Matt Sydal wins, he's going to get a title shot. It would have made more suspense for me if he didn't get that stipulation in the match, right?
Really?
Then there would be a more outside chance he could win this match.
Really? I would think the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, because it's if they just put him out there, just Matt Sydal versus Kenny Omega, it's Kenny Omega.
Kenny's going to win.
Yeah. But then if you say, okay, well, if he wins, he'll get a title shot against Kenny. It's maybe maybe Moxley will come out and screw Kenny, and then the next week Kenny can get his win back. So, yeah, I actually think the opposite. Anyway, this match did really pick up toward the end. So it was.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
It was very good. It probably would have been my match of the night, but I'm going to give it to another match, and we'll talk about that later. So we've got the lineup for tonight. We've got FTR and Sean Spears versus Dante Martin and the Varsity Blondes, the debut of the Pinnacle. We've got Nyla Rose versus Tay Conti, and we've got, in the main event, Darby Allin is going to defend the TNT title against John Silver. And in the back, Marvez is with the Dark Order, and he says, "Are you ready?" And Silver's like, "Yeah, I'm ready." He hypes himself up. And so they do a bit. He's to show he's ready. The Dark Order is trying to do coffin drops on him, but he dodges everyone. He dodges all of them. And it's that's pretty cool. And then Hangman shows up and he says, "Hey, are you nervous?" And he says, "Don't worry. The guys will be proud of you, no matter what happens." And then Tony just mentions, okay, well, before I get into what Tony says, did you have anything you want to say about this little interview with John Silver and the Dark Order?
No, I just love everything the Dark Order does nowadays, and Hangman is quickly becoming the voice of reason with the Dark Order, which is funny. I mean, it was not that long ago where he was this completely unhinged, alcoholic, So it's good. They found each other, I guess. That's the good way to put it.
Yeah. So yeah, this was good, but then this part pissed me off a little bit. Tony Schiavone mentions that Sting will be watching Darby's back from the back. Where's the interview? Where's Sting's interview? Why didn't they interview? Why didn't they interview Sting for him to say that he's gonna be watching Darby's back later in the night?
Is this the first week without a Sting interview?
I'm pretty sure this is the first week since Sting has arrived without him. Sting confronts Team Taz. Sting calls out Team Taz. Sting has a message for Team Taz. It's so I think this is the first one where Sting didn't have some kind of interview. So
wow,
they broke the streak. Right. I'm not a big fan about that. So up next we've got Hangman Page versus Cesar Bononi. What do you think? You thought I was gonna say Bonanza.
I really did. I was this close to correcting you, and I was like, I better let him finish.
Yeah,
I'll let you finish. No, it was fine. I knew this was gonna be a squash, but it's good. They showed enough offense from Caesar where he wasn't completely outclassed because he's a big dude.
He was completely outclassed. He did nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, it would have been completely ridiculous if Hangman just came in with the lariat and just destroyed him. So at least they gave him some offense.
I think I would have liked that a lot better.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
it was enough.
It wasn't terrible. This was okay. So I mean, the story it didn't last very long. Cesar Bononi is playing big man. He won't go down. Hangman hits him with a couple clotheslines. He won't go down, but then he hits an exploder, buckshot, and he gets the win. So just little something to fill time, give Hangman a win pretty much. Right?
Yeah.
So then we've got Lance Archer, who comes to us from a broken down location. I never understand that, why wrestlers, especially bad guys, are always coming down from some destroyed warehouse or some bonfire under the bridge. It's what? Why are they hanging out at these places? I don't understand.
What would you prefer? That they show up at their local Chili's and they have an interview?
Yeah. I don't know.
TGI Fridays. Yeah, I'm at the IHOP, but I got something to say to Sting.
I don't know, like at some hot tub with a bunch of babes or something.
Yeah.
But then everybody will cheer for him or something. I don't know.
Where was that place that Sting was at? The Castle of
the White Castle of Fear.
The White Castle of Fear. I was gonna say the White Castle of Doom, but I knew it wasn't Doom. Yeah.
So they anything anyway, Lance Archer, he says he used to look up to Sting. He has the bat. I didn't even realize he stole the bat, but he's got Sting's bat. He says it's time, it's his time. He wants the attention. Sting is one of the best of all time, but now it's gonna be his time. So I guess he just wants. That's just what his beef with Sting is. Nothing personal. It's all business. All good. Anything you want to say about this?
I didn't really like it, actually, to tell you the truth. I thought it was kind of hollow, honestly. Like, I don't know. It's obvious they don't know what to do with Lance Archer right now. So now they're like, yeah, he's gonna go after Sting. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to be a good guy too. Or he was going to be a good guy,
right?
but he's not anymore.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
So
we'll see where this goes.
So they show a recap of Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, and they show I guess after the match. It didn't air on Dynamite last week, but they showed like a little bit of Thunder Rosa being interviewed after the match. And this was good. She was talking about all like her sacrifices, all blah blah blah. Very fired up, very, this is women's wrestling is a real thing. It's don't take it as a joke, blah blah blah. This is a good interview. I like that. Do you have anything you want to add about that part?
No, it was good. Like you said, it was genuine. It was real. She brought up a lot of good points. I could tell it came from the heart. It was good. It was a nice bookend to the match. Yeah.
So Britt comes out, and this part was awesome. Britt comes out with Tony, and she obviously is not happy. And Tony calls for a round of applause. But then they show some of the audience is actually booing her. I was like, the hell, after that match you're gonna boo her? I mean, she's a bad guy, but what the hell? That was like, she took thumbtacks to the back, bloody face, went through tables.
To the face?
Yeah, dude. You don't boo
Who's
that.
Gonna do that? Like any one of those people, you can pay them beyond, unless it was six figures to go out and do that. Right?
I mean, they even chanted "Thank you, Cena." That one match, he broke his nose, and then they chanted "Thank you, Cena" after the match. It was just like, how are you gonna? I think those might have been like the good guy wrestlers who were booing, and they didn't really show who it was. So, anyways, Britt is obviously not impressed with the round of applause. And she says Thunder Rosa should be thanking her because she will be remembered now. And then she brings up that Thunder Rosa had the audacity to say that she put women's wrestling on the map. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of right. Who are you? You're an NWA girl, and you're coming in here and saying you're putting the AEW women's division on the map. I don't know about that anymore. And then she calls
Tango.
Yeah, and then she calls out Mick Foley taking 20 years to be a hardcore legend, and it took her one night. And then so that was pretty good, actually. So she says when all the blood was all over her face, she could see clearly. She put AEW on the map. And the letters AEW is second to the real three letters DMD. So this was great. Britt is great. I don't know why she lost, but whatevs. Your thoughts?
Yeah, that was an excellent promo. I wish she won last week, but I can't knock the match. And this was a great promo, bringing it back up. So, yeah, it'll be hard. It'll be hard to really top that match, though, I think, going forward.
Yeah, that was a spectacular match. So the Pinnacle walk out their dressing room looking badass. That's the end of it. So then we go to the back, and Christian is giving the dudes who are about to lose a pep talk.
The dudes that are about to lose.
Isn't that what they are?
You didn't think that the Varsity Blondes and Dante Martin had
I thought they had
chance in hell of beating FTR.
No.
And Sean Spears.
I think Matt Sydal had a better chance of beating Kenny Omega.
And the Good Brothers.
Yeah.
He could have beat them all three. Yeah,
I think so.
Right.
So that Dasha interrupts and she's like, "What's going on, bros?" And Christian is like, "I'm just giving them some advice." And then Frankie Kazarian interrupts, and he's not too happy with Christian's catchphrase, which is "outwork everyone," which is written on Christian's shirt. And at this point, I'm like, kind of like, yeah, if I worked at a company and then some other asshole just shows up and he's wearing this T-shirt about how he's outworking everyone, but he's never even actually done anything in the company yet, I don't think I would like that either. So Frankie's got a point here. And so he tells Christian, I don't really like your catchphrase. He says, well, it says you outwork everyone. So where's the work? And Christian says, funny you should ask, bro, next week. And funny you should ask again because I don't have an opponent. So he challenges Frankie and he accepts. And then Frankie asks if he's busy Monday nights. And he's like, oh, no, you're not busy Monday nights. Wink, wink. And then he invites Christian to come to watch AEW Dark Elevation. So this was really good. Your thoughts?
I don't know what it was about this, but I loved it. I love Frankie Kazarian. So it just went so perfectly. He just has that. Frankie's someone you wouldn't mess with to begin with, but he just has that air of smarminess to this interaction. It was so perfect.
Yeah.
In a way, it kind of reminded me of the interaction between Schwarzenegger and Weathers in Predator when they first meet each other.
Kind of.
You son of
Dylan.
a bitch. And they're like,
Yeah,
that's what they should have done.
This was really cool, but I'm confused as to why Frankie Kazarian, because they're doing that whole storyline where Frankie and Christopher Daniels are going to break up the next time they lose a tag team match, but then now Frankie's just going to be in a match with Christian. Yeah, so I mean, not the worst thing in the world. Christian versus Frankie Kazarian is gonna no doubt be very good, and even though we're gonna know Christian, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's
Christian's
no
gonna
way
win.
that Christian's gonna lose this match. But
Yeah. If he does, that would be kind of like a waste money. Tony Khan, what are you doing?
That would actually be a nice sleight of hand, though, right? And then Frankie Kazarian puts on the shirt after. Hey, Christian, I got your shirt.
I'm the workhorse.
Yeah.
So then out comes the Pinnacle. They come out and they recap the beatdown of the Inner Circle, and they mention the Inner Circle has not been seen since. It's like, ooh. So the match is FTR and Sean Spears versus Dante, Martin, and the Varsity Blondes. And who would you have?
That's what I wanted to ask you.
Who would you
have to Dimitri? Do you know?
Darius.
Oh, Darius. Sorry, yeah. Darius.
I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing he's hurt.
Because that's what Christian said, right? How's Darius doing, right?
Yeah. I guess I'm guessing he's hurt because I don't see any other reason why he wouldn't be there.
Okay. Yeah. Shoot, that sucks.
So before this match, did you have a prediction on who was going to? Well, we know who was going to win, but who was going to who was going to get the actual pinfall win?
The win?
Yeah, who was going to get the win?
I did not, I have to admit.
Yeah.
Although I was 99.9% sure that the dudes who are about to lose were going to lose.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll see who gets the W in this one. So did you notice this too? The dudes who are about to lose, when they came out, for whatever reason, I think like Dante's kind of like he's kind of got more of a serious look when he comes out. But the Varsity Blondes usually come out and they're kind of like happy, jumping up, all hype and everything, right? Did you notice that when they came out for this match, they did not look happy? Like they look like, I don't know, the Varsity Blondes look unhappy. If you want to go back and watch it, especially Griff Garrison, he looked unhappy for whatever reason. And it's kind of like Tony Khan, like right before they walked out of the curtain, Tony Khan was like, you guys aren't gonna win, you know. And Griff Garrison's like, what? I thought we were scheduled to win. And Tony Khan's like,
he told him that the last second.
It's like, yeah, no, you're not gonna win tonight. And so I don't know, if they look kind of irritated and pissed off. Maybe it was just me. But Griff and Spears start off. Oh, what did you think of the match though?
It was okay. It was decent. It was good enough. Actually, You know, and I've said this before, and I know you feel the same way. Dante Martin and his brother are stars in the making, and every time he was in there, I was glued to the screen. Every time he was doing his moves, it was just so fluid. It's hard to believe he's only 20 years old.
Oh yeah, he's light years ahead of Griffin Pillman.
Yeah, and he's so much young. I mean, well, not so much younger, but he's younger than them by a good 5 years or so.
Or I don't know how much
so good.
younger, but he's definitely. They're both like you know, I guess rookie.
He's not that much younger than us. You know, give you a little.
That's true.
Context.
He's not much younger than us.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Darius Griffin Spears started off. The announcers are really hyping up Spears, talking about how he's so awesome, he's so great. They call him the chairman. He's one of the best in the world. I'm like, okay. So
did he pay them to say that? It's like, hey guys.
Yeah, like. I mean, he's in the ring. He's teaming with FTR. He's there with MJF and Wardlow, but we're supposed to believe this is one of the best guys out. Like, okay.
It's the pinnacle, man. He's
part of the pinnacle. He no doubt is part of the pinnacle. So they were so the good guys were gonna go for a triple dive, but then Wardlow stands in their way. And then we go to picture in picture, and then back from picture in picture. Dante was going nuts. But as soon as they come back from picture in picture, Dak stops him cold, and they tag in Sean Spears, who hits a Death Valley driver, gets a 3. So Sean Spears gets the win. This is what I'm talking about. They're finally doing it. The Sean Spears push. Is what we've been waiting for.
You mean the
we've
Sean
all been
Spears
waiting
push, as in the first one of this month?
No, this is the one. They've been like screwing him over this entire time he's been in AEW, and finally he's gonna get.
I didn't know you were such a fan.
Yeah, I mean that blonde mohawk, man. That just screams superstar.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Okay.
So Shivani goes to the ring, and then
this was good. This was so good. I gotta say something before you go any further.
Go for it.
Tony's body language going to the ring was so good. He's like,
like he doesn't want to go.
Yeah, like like he's going into he's going into a meeting with his boss when he knows he's gonna get chewed out. It's like, fuck, like I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
so good. Go ahead.
So for whatever reason, right before the interview starts, Wardlow gives his choke slam off the top into the knee combo on Pillman, just randomly. Like, why not, right? Beat these guys up, the dudes who are about to lose, so not to be confused with the dudes with attitudes. But
we gotta make that into a shirt.
The dudes who are about to lose.
Yeah.
We can't put their faces on it. We got to put our faces on it.
Yeah, that's true. But it'll be our inside joke.
Yeah. So Cash says the Pinnacle is a family, and he will die for every one of them. And then Dak starts running down Santana and Ortiz, and he really goes after Santana and Ortiz for some reason. I was like, why is he so pissed at Santana and Ortiz? What did they do to him? But he is not having Santana and Ortiz for some reason, which, hey, it's okay, because that pretty much means we're going to get FTR versus Santana and Ortiz, and I'm down with that.
Yeah, so, I'm ready.
MJF says Jericho should be breaking the walls down, but the only thing he's breaking is whatever chair he's sitting in. And he tells them to come out, and Shivani says, but they're hurt. And then Wardlow and MJF intimidate him. And then MJF pretty much says that he's got a surprise for the Pinnacle next week. So we'll see.
Yeah. So obviously they didn't even, a little foreshadowing here, they didn't even really announce it in the Dynamite preview. So we'll see what that is, what that surprise is. We'll see. Do you think that Inner Circle will be making an appearance at the surprise?
I would assume so.
Yeah. Payback time.
I would assume that's a good bet. But so I mean, like we had the Inner Circle, and now we've got the Pinnacle. So we've got another faction in AEW, and I just want to know, what does Team Taz think about this? So unfortunately,
I forgot that was next.
We unfortunately don't find out what Team Taz thinks about this, but we do hear from Team Taz. So we get a message from Team Taz, And Taz says there's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, but we're all good. You know, he says Brian Cage apologized to the group, and he personally apologized to Ricky Starks. And Ricky Starks is on the side looking cool, looking douchey as hell. And you look at Brian Cage, and he's kind of like, nope, that was not sincere at all. But so Taz then asks everybody one by one if they're cool. Are you cool? And they're all like, yeah, we're cool. And then he's asked Cage, are we cool? And then Cage just says, who better? so he doesn't actually say he's cool, but I don't know. Team Taz just cannot miss on awesomeness.
I know. This was so good on so many levels. I mean, Ricky Starks smiling his way through it the whole time, like, yeah, it was so good. So his response to Taz.
So you had actually
absolutely
sent me a message when this was playing, saying that Ricky Starks needs his own TV show, and I concur 1,000%. Somebody needs to put on the Ricky Starks show, because I mean, I don't even care what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. It could be the Big Show or whatever the hell they called it.
The Go Big Show
again.
The Go Big
Show. I'll watch it 100%. Just to see more Ricky Starks. He's so good.
Yeah. So the next this next part. Okay, you got anything else to add for this bit?
No. That's all I want to say. Okay. It's so good.
So the next part is QT Marshall is out. Did you want? I want you to say what you want to say about this first before I recap it.
Perplexing. I don't even know.
I was, because that's what I'm gonna say about. I'm gonna talk about it.
But I'm so confused where this came from, where this is going. But yeah, it'd probably be better that you run it down, because I don't really have anything good to say about this.
Yeah. So this was really weird. QT's out there. He says he's frustrated. He's friends with Cody. He points out his wife is in the crowd. They show his wife. He says he's done more work than anyone here other than Tony Khan. He's irritated that Cody's getting all the spotlight, all the attention, and all he's known as is Cody's friend. Then the crowd chants Cody's friend. and he's like, yeah, I am Cody's friend. And he says next week there's going to be an exhibition. And he says he won't take meaningless bumps if it's going to be in Cody's shadow. And then Cody comes out, and his arm is in a sling. And then he says, okay, we can have your exhibition, and Arn is going to be the ref. See, okay, now at this point in the segment, all he said is that there's going to be an exhibition. So we're to assume that Cody is going to be his opponent, but we don't know for sure. So you're just like, what the hell is going on? Who is his opponent? And then Cody says, you know what? I'm not going to hurt you. If I put the figure 4 on, I'll release it. If I get you set up for the crossroads, I won't put it on you. And he calls QT a good assistant. And I was like, ooh, that's fighting words. Call me the good assistant. And then but the crowd chants Cody's friend again. And then he says QT might be his best friend. Since when? QT's partner is Dustin. So how are they best friends? Isn't his best friend Brandy?
Yeah, you think so. Don't tell Brandy. I hope she doesn't watch Dynamite.
So I guess the exhibition next week is going to be Cody versus QT Marshall. It's like, so my question is, why isn't this just a fucking match?
Yeah.
First of all, what is an exhibition? And why are we having it? Why isn't it just a match? If he wants to prove himself that he's not just in Cody's shadow, why does he want to prove it in an exhibition instead of just beating Cody in a regular match?
Yeah.
And they didn't even address the fact that Cody's arm is in a sling.
I'm going to guess that's still an injury or that's the lingering injury from the ladder match still, I guess.
I mean, they could have said something like, hey, I'll be ready next week or something, right?
Yeah, I guess he hurt. I guess it's still hurt after he fought Phoenix too. Or not Phoenix. Penta.
That's right.
But, like, going back to what you said, like, why is it an exhibition? Why now? All these things, like, it's just completely out of left field for me. Like, how many weeks has it been now that QT's kind of been off the wagon, I guess, off the rails? Kind of only 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And then he decides his issue is with Cody of all people. That's what he's like completely turned his back on everyone else for. That's weird.
Except
like,
he hasn't really turned his back on anyone else.
Well, he let what was it, Big Shotty or whatever, Lee Johnson eat shit, right?
You
And
mean
he let Dustin eat shit at the pay-per-view
after Lee Johnson thanked everybody in his like welcome to AEW interview, and then he didn't thank QT Marshall? I'm supposed he thanked everybody, and then like except QT, the guy who trained him, he didn't thank in his interview. So I'm supposed to be like salty balls at QT. Nah.
Even Brandy.
Yeah, even Brandy. And then he doesn't thank QT, and I'm supposed to like be upset when QT doesn't want to help him. I'm kind of
but he did turn his back on Dustin, which is
in all this, I'm kind of on QT's side, to be honest. Especially after Cody called him the good assistant. I was like, "Oh,
that
man.
was
oh,
so, yeah."
Ooh.
QT seemed to be asking for too much, but then when Cody came out and just kind of like downplayed everything, down talked him,
yeah,
I was like, "This is not helping the situation, Cody."
Not at all.
Hey, man, I'm not gonna hurt you because I know I'm better than you.
That
That's
was
basically what he was saying.
that was really condescending too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very condescending.
I mean, that's like when we played video games too. I have to tell you that so you don't like quit. But
oh, really?
If you watch our
I guess I should stop sandbagging and.
If you watch our other videos on YouTube, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Just like, don't watch like the shooters though. Just watch the games I own and you'll see what I'm talking about. But other games that you own, like, that doesn't count. Anyway, next up we've got Laredo Kid and the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler. And this part was awesome. They do an interview with the translator, and they talk about how Pac is injured, so Pac and Phoenix aren't going to be getting the title shot. It looks like the Lucha Brothers are going to be getting the title shot that they earned from winning that tag team battle royal. So they say the Bucks have what belongs to them, and then Alex, the translator, chimes in, and he's super pissed off. And JR in one of the lines of the night just is like, "Why is Alex pissed off?" It's like, that's what I wanted to know. That's exactly what I was thinking. So, your thoughts on this match?
This was a good match. There was a lot of high flying spots, which I expected, but I didn't expect so many so quickly. I guess I expected some high flying spots, but it was like one after another.
You didn't.
It just kept going. The pace was crazy. Cutler was even pulling off moves. I know Cutler's a decent wrestler.
Cutler's good.
So, yeah, it was great, man. I want to see more of this. I love trios action, especially when you get good teams like Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks. So.
Yeah. So, what was I gonna say about this? So this was actually the first match that I really enjoyed in this Dynamite because we didn't know. At least I didn't know for sure who was gonna win. Like, I was pretty sure Cutler was gonna eat shit at the end, but it wasn't 100%. It was like maybe Laredo Kid, but probably not because this is his debut, right? But maybe they would have like Penta or something get a pinfall on one of the Bucks or something to show that they can in fact beat the Bucks or something. Like, I wasn't 100% sure that Cutler was gonna take it, but alas. So Nick and Phoenix started off. They do some lucha chain wrestling. It was very good, obviously. Penta and Matt tag in. Matt kicks him, and then while he tries his Cierro Miedo taunt, and then Matt goes for a sharpshooter. Penta gets the ropes. Brandon Cutler and Laredo Kid are in. Laredo Kid hits a TRS. Looks like he was going to go for an Asai moonsault, but the Bucks stop him. Phoenix does a double implosion arm drag. I'm using all the names of the moves Excalibur uses. I would have described them differently because I don't know all these crazy ass names that he does. So Phoenix does a double implosion arm drag. Penta dives onto the Bucks and Laredo. Phoenix calls for the dive, but Brandon Cutler stops him, and then Brandon Cutler hits a phenomenal forearm on Phoenix, and then a dive onto everybody. So, hit a phenomenal forearm. Okay. And then Laredo Kid hits a top rope moonsault to the outside on Matt and Brandon. He tries for an in-ring moonsault, but Nick kicks him. Matt hits a assisted Spanish fly on Laredo for 2. So they go to break and they come back. Penta's hitting sling blades on everybody. Phoenix stands on Penta's shoulder and double splashes the Bucks. That was really cool. Laredo Kid springboard Hurricane Rana on Nick. So JR says he thinks there was a tag made. After there's all this action going on, everything, he's like, I think there was a tag made. Laredo Kid hits a senton atomical on Matt for 2. Nick and Phoenix are going back and forth, and Nick hits a big clothesline. Matt and Laredo Kid in the ring pounding on each other. Matt hits his rolling Northern Light suplex, and then Penta tries to get in there, and then Matt suplexes him too. The buckle bomb into the kick by the Bucks. Risky business. Cutler with a springboard elbow. Penta breaks up the pin. Phoenix is in there. The Bucks and Cutler. So yeah, like you said, there was a lot of action. So the Bucks and Cutler hit an assisted indie taker. That kind of didn't look so good. Bucks take out the Lucha Brothers. Meanwhile, Laredo Kid hits the Spanish fly on Cutler and gets the W. Yeah. So, did you think for a second the Bucks were gonna attack Cutler? Because it kind of
no. Did you honestly think that?
Because the Bucks took out the Lucha Brothers on the outside, and then Laredo Kid just beats Brandon Cutler. And then if you look after the match, the Bucks are kind of like, what the hell
were you doing?
So I was like, are they gonna beat him up?
That would be a pretty nuts heel turn, but I could see it. They weren't happy. They came back to the ring. They're like, you lost? We were gone for 10 seconds,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we literally took out the Lucha Brothers, and then 10 seconds later, oh crap, we lost the match. They're ringing the bell and they're announcing these guys as the winners. What the hell happened, dude? So, yeah.
Fair point.
So this next part was one of the best things I've ever seen in professional wrestling. And I'll tell you which part it is. But do you have any other thoughts on the match, or do you want to say anything before I recap what happened after the match?
No other thoughts on the match. I honestly hope, I don't know what kind of contracts he has elsewhere, but Laredo Kid is awesome. I would love for him to be an AEW wrestler moving forward too.
He's another one. So, we need to see more of that guy.
Agreed.
So, out comes Kenny Omega, and he attacks Laredo Kid with the mic and then the belt. So this part was awesome too. This is not the part I was talking about, but this part was awesome. He grabs the mic from Don Callis, and then he starts screaming, "Give me the mic, Don! Give me the mic!" It's like he's already holding the mic to his face, and he's screaming for Don Callis to give him the mic. I don't know why, but I thought that was hilarious. So Kenny says he's getting these flashbacks. He brings up 3 years ago when he had a choice. And did he stay where his family was and all his fans were? No. Did he go to New York? No. He came here, but he didn't choose AEW. He chose the Young Bucks, and he chose the Young Bucks to make the AEW the best promotion on the planet. And instead, they chose Brandon Cutler, and he's mad because the Young Bucks didn't choose him, and he's gonna give them one more chance. And he puts up the 2 sweet, and he asks if the Bucks are with him, and he says, Things have changed. This is their last chance, and the Bucks walk out. Ooh, the Bucks are no longer with Kenny Omega. So, what do you want? Anything you want to say about this?
This is great. Kenny and Don, man, like anytime they're on screen, it's just pure gold. I did not expect him to come out and start beating up Laredo Kid. I expected some kind of interaction with the Bucks somehow, some way, but not like that. It was just funny. He was just beating his ass for no reason. He's like, "Yeah, I remember you. Yeah." So, okay.
So this was okay.
You should bring up the next point. Yeah.
So the next part is what I was talking about, of the greatest thing that I've seen in professional wrestling. So Kenny Omega comes out, he beats up Laredo Kid, and he like does his interview talking to the Bucks. And so in the back of my mind, I'm thinking this entire time, why doesn't the Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid just beat this guy's ass? You know, he's just standing there with a mic by himself, especially now that the Young Bucks leave. And so Kenny turns around and he gets double super kicked by the Lucha Brothers. And I'm like, yes! This is so good. This makes perfect sense. And then, you know, normally, especially when they do this in WWE, but they do this in AEW too, right? When somebody gets beat up and then him and his friends just leave. They're just like, well, we got beat up, and they just leave. But at this point, I was like, why doesn't the Lucha Brother just beat this guy's ass for you know, attacking Laredo Kid? But then they do. So they beat him, they kick him in the face, and then they hit the package power driver stomp combo. And Kenny is left laying in the ring, bleeding from the mouth. But then his true friends, the Good Brothers, come out. They help him up.
The true friends.
That's what they mentioned that too. His true friends, the Good Brothers, come out. And then Kenny is bleeding from the mouth, and he stands up and he gives the thumbs up. So, yeah, this was one of the best things I've ever seen in professional wrestling.
The whole sequence is great. That image of Kenny half dazed, blood coming out of his mouth, being held up by the Good Brothers and giving the thumbs up.
Yeah.
That will stick with me forever. That was so good. He's like, ah.
I mean, one could use it as a thumbnail.
That's not a bad idea. A little bit of foreshadowing there.
We're all about the foreshadowing, you know?
That thumbs up reminded me of the half-assed thumbs up that Kylo Ren gave on the undercover boss for the Death Star.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know why. It just did.
Yeah. Next up, we've got a video of Jade, and this was actually cool. This is really cool. She says, like, she's just talking about how she beat Red Velvet's ass. They're both undefeated in singles matches, and she challenges Red Velvet and says when she steps in the ring, she's gonna realize she's up against that bitch. Like, this was awesome. This was good. I'm a fan of Jade. I ran her down before she was in the match, but she's good. I like her. Your thoughts?
Yeah, she's getting a lot better. I mean, she's getting a lot better at the promos too. She's just getting better all around. Like, I have to admit, for the longest time, we were just like, why is she on the screen every week? But I give her full credit. She's gotten a lot better as both a wrestler and as, you know, I guess just on the mic. Yeah.
Yep. So they show that Cody and Brandy have some kind of project. And they show all these like little video clips of a bunch of crap, and I'm like, is this just a new reality series with the Rhodes? So yeah, it's a new reality series with the Rhodes, and it's called Rhodes to the Top, right? What it's called?
Yep. You called it. It's like, are they gonna have their own show? Yeah.
So I gotta say though, I'm more interested in this than the Big Show, the Big Show. I'll probably watch the first episode. This actually looks pretty cool. Yeah, I just really like it how Brandy puts Cody in his place. He acts like this cocky ass, badass guy, and then Brandy just shuts him down. If you ever watched like a shot of Brandy, like she just gives him so much shit when she's doing her like own cooking show, and then he walks in and she's just like, dude, you can't just let me have my own thing. You got to show up and like come in my show, and it's just awesome. So if we get a half hour or hour of Brandy just giving shit to Cody, like I'll watch that anytime, Lou. Anytime.
She's great. I have to admit, she's great.
So then we hear from another couple of great guys, Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley. So Eddie says his leg is busted, and then he says this is not New Japan and this is not Bullet Club. I don't know why he's bringing up Bullet Club, like a clothing brand, but whatever. So he says this is not about selling t-shirts, and he stands up, but he can't stand up because his leg is busted in a cast. And he asks how far are they willing to take this, and Mox says there's war on the streets, and he doesn't like the Bucks, but he owes them one. But he warns the Bucks that they better be willing to get their hands dirty. So what do you say? It's like a broken record. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston just nails it on the mic.
Yeah. I'd be scared if I was the Good Brothers, especially because you know what Eddie did to that pillow was, man, was just a foreshadowing. I don't know why that was so funny to me, but he was getting all pissed off and he was trying to get up and he decided to throw the pillow instead.
So good. Anything else?
Nah, good.
All
Good all
right.
around. Always great with those two.
So in my match of the night is the next one up, and I'm probably surprised at people. Nyla Rose versus Tay Conti. And this is my match of the night for none other than the reason why I didn't know who was gonna win. And when that person did win, I was very surprised and I liked it. So I liked this match the best out of all the matches tonight. What did you think of this match? Sucked.
I guess this is my match of the night too. This is a good match.
You can't copy me. Anyway,
just because you said it first doesn't mean I'm copying you.
Actually, that's kind of like the definition of copying.
Is it Tay? Tay, right? Tay Conti, right? She's gotten a lot better, and this match was great. She was really bringing it, and I give credit to Nyla too because she took some crazy moves, and she sold them all. So this was a really, really good showcase for both of them. And like you said, I was actually surprised at the ending, which keeps things interesting, keeps the division fluid too. So it's not just always these two women are always going to be competing for the belt for the next 2 years, right?
Yeah. So I figured Nyla was going to win, but I wasn't 100% sure. And maybe Tay will. We'll see. So the Dark Order is out to show support for Tay, but then they just leave before the match starts. So how much support did they give? But it's fine. Interference is never a good thing in wrestling. So Nia immediately starts beating the crap out of her at the start. Tay goes for an octopus submission into a disarmor kind of move, but then Nyla rolls through it. Nyla bites her fingers, and then she hits a diving knee with Tay draped over the ropes. That gets a 2. And then it's time for that restaurant quality picture-in-picture. And then back from the break, Tay takes control. She hits a jumping knee into the corner. And then she tries her move, which is called the DD-Tay. That needs to change. I'm
not crazy about it either.
Yeah. So she hits a knee strike on the outside. They kind of go back and forth a little bit, but then Tay eventually hits the DD-Tay and gets the victory. A clean victory. No Vicky Guerrero interference. No any Dark Order interference. No anything else. No cheating by Nyla. No nothing. She just gets a straight up victory over Nyla. Wow. Why can't all pro wrestling be like this? This is great. I like this. This is how it should be. Yeah.
Yeah, fair point. I agree. This is how it should be. No interference. Just pure, good, clean wrestling.
Just they wrestled and somebody won.
Yeah.
This is the kind of shit I like to see. You know?
What are your thoughts on what happened after the match, though?
What happened after the match was... This is pretty cool. So after the match, Nyla and Vicky, of course, are not having it. So they attack. So they attack Tay.
Poor Tay.
And then this mafia boss, this Yakuza boss, comes out and whacks Nyla with the kendo stick. Turns out it's Hikaru Shida. It's like, oh crap, it's Hikaru Shida pretending to be a Yakuza boss. And then the bunny comes out and whacks Shida with the kendo stick. And then Matt Hardy and Butcher and the Blade come out and watch. And then Matt brings up, hey, the bunny wasn't even in the title eliminator tournament, and that's not cool. And that's it.
He was a lot more.
That wasn't much of a. He didn't really make much of a statement other than the bunny wasn't in the title eliminator. It's like, yeah, that's a fair point, but and then he didn't really say it like,
That was so. Here's my issue with that, just that whole sequence. But Matt Hardy's quickly becoming, I guess, for lack of a better term, the mafia boss.
Yeah.
That's just attacking every random person now. Are allowing his, I don't know, family, minions, whatever, to attack everyone now. But I thought that was a huge dig on Nyla when he said, the title eliminator tournament was a sham because Bunny wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Nyla was. And you want her on your side? I'm surprised Nyla.
Yeah, and then Nyla and Vicky Guerrero stood by them after that too. It's like, if I was Nyla, I'd be like, "F you, bro."
Exactly. I was surprised there was no reaction from Nyla.
I was like, I'll beat her ass right now if you want, right?
Yeah. So yeah, why am I teaming up with you if you just said everything I've accomplished is bullshit too?
Yeah.
You know, you're throwing me in with them. Weird. So, but you know, I guess that's the last we'll see of Matt and his family tonight.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
There's no way wrestlers will come out twice in the same show. That doesn't happen. So next up, we've got.
Oh, this is so good. Please tell me, what do we have next?
I have no words for this. Miro and Kip are going to take on Chuck and Orange in an Arcade Anarchy match next week. Please get this over.
Haven't we had this match already? I could have swore we've...
Not the Arcade Anarchy, which apparently is what's going to make everybody want to watch this, is because it's Arcade Anarchy.
I have to find a calendar to see what date it is, because is this January or December? How many matches have we had with...
I don't effing know. But yeah. Please let this be over next week. I beg you, AEW. Whatever happens, this needs to be the end. Miro says it'll be game over, and I hope he's right, because this needs to just be over. Please. Why?
Why?
Exactly.
Yes, I also agree. I hope this will be over next week. Fingers crossed, everybody.
So then we've got Scorpio talking, and this was also, I gotta say it, like, I like Scorpio, but this was ridiculously stupid. So he's talking about his new attitude, and this isn't a new me. This is just new side that he's showing, and he's been screwed over and over again, just like that match with Darby Allin is proof of it. It's like, when you got beat clean in the middle of the ring, that's proof of you getting screwed over and over. It's like, I don't know. Doesn't make
true. Fair point.
What? So yeah, he says his days of being underrated is over. He has a match on Elevation with Mike Seidel, and he's the face of the Revolution. So like, all right, this Scorpio Sky bad guy thing is not getting off the ground.
It's not doing it for me. I agree with you, man.
It's not, it's not setting the world on fire yet. And when they announced he's gonna take on Mike Seidel on Elevation, I was just like,
not even Matt. It's Mike.
I'm still not gonna watch it. So,
and I guess this face of the Revolution is a thing now. He's just gonna
keep
using that.
Yeah, I guess that's a thing. Like the diamond ring,
the diamond
ring.
Whatever
the dynamite
diamond ring, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So I guess that the face of the Revolution is like some kind of unofficial championship. Okay. But yeah, this whole thing was totally idiotic. He's pissed off about being screwed over, being underrated, blah blah blah, and he says that his match with Darby Allin proves it. But then Darby just beat him, so I don't get it. But whatever.
Yeah, I love Scorpio. I wish he won that match. Honestly, I wish he had more shots. But at the same time, him in a bad guy role,
it's wrong.
This whole dark side of him is not working for me at all. And like you said, he's pissed off that he lost a match cleanly. He's pissed off that he's lost all these other matches cleanly, because I can't think of anything where he got screwed.
I mean, personally. Like, you won they put you in the face of the Revolution match. You didn't even have a qualifier like some of the other people did. So it's like,
yeah,
how badly did you really get screwed here? I don't know.
Yeah.
But up next, we've got our main event. Darby Allin is defending the TNT Championship against John Silver. What did you think of this one?
This was a good match, man. It was. I expected them to put on a good match. Don't get me wrong, but John Silver, all the credit in the world to him. He's worked his way up from some, lack of a better term, grunt at the beginning of AEW to like a main event star now. And I totally understand just by obviously watching BT and stuff, but also watching this, why he's gotten such a cult following now. And give him credit. This is a great match, even though the outcome was pretty much certain.
Yeah, I had zero. I gave John Silver a 0% chance of walking out with the TNT Championship.
I gave credit to both guys for an outstanding match. Hopefully, we see more from both of them down the line.
Yep. Yeah. So one thing that I noticed immediately is Darby is actually taller than his opponent for once. Crazy.
Yeah, that's good. That's true.
Yeah. But he points to the sky in honor of Brody Lee, and the match is on. So there really wasn't anything really big going on. I didn't really take much notes until they came back from the break, which is picture in picture. This match was like what 20 minutes long.
Yeah, this was a long match.
This was a long match. So yeah, they kind of went slow. They kind of didn't really do any really big moves. Then they went until they came back from commercial. So back from the break, Silver was in control, but then he immediately runs into the guardrail, and Darby gets out of the way. So John Silver's head and elbow is all hurt, and the Dark Order helps him back over the barricade. Darby goes for a dive, but I think he hit 5, was it?
Yeah.
He hit 5, right? And so Sting is out. He's not having this Dark Order helping Silver shit. He's, but then but the match is still going on. Silver's still a competent opponent. He's got the Queen Slayer on Darby, and then Darby is fading, but he counters and rolls through for it too. They're more back and forth. They go up top. Darby drops Silver, but then he does the coughing drop to the outside where the entire Dark Order is, instead of doing it on the inside where John Silver is. But then he goes back up to the top. John Silver kicks him, slams him off to the top rope, but goes for the pin. Darby has his foot on the ropes, and then Silver calls for the Brody Lee powerbomb, but Darby counters that into a code red and gets the 3. So that was good finish. I like it. I like unpredictable finishes. I like it when people win, like not just when they can pull off wins without their finisher. Although I do like finishers too. Don't get me wrong, but it's cool once every now and then to get matches end without the finisher.
No, I get it. I'm with you. You throw it in there. It would be weird to always have the setup where the only way to finish somebody is with a signature move, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be 1,000 ways you can finish somebody without doing your signature move. So yeah, I agree. It was a good finish. Yeah.
So after the match,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say.
Say it. What you got?
No, I was just gonna say after the match. What do you think about that? So
okay. So after the match, Darby and Silver fist bump, and then Matt Hardy attacks because he hates everybody, and then Sting comes in. He messes up Matt Hardy party. Tay Conti comes out and she attacks the bunny, and then Darby dives on Matt, and then the Dark Order is beating up the Matt Hardy party too. So everybody hates Matt Hardy party.
Yeah. I guess so.
So I gotta say, if I was a private party, wouldn't I be kind of near the point where I'd be like, hey, you know what? This was kind of a bad deal for us. Maybe we should rethink this whole Matt Hardy deal. I mean, now he's got us teaming up with the Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny, the two, the team that just gets tossed around all over the place.
Yeah, the entire locker room hates us.
Yeah.
He's making us attack the Dark Order, which outnumber us.
We're not necessarily winning much matches. He's always taking the pins when we win, like.
Not to mention, he's taking our salary.
He's taking 30%. Yeah,
percentage of our earnings.
Like, have we really elevated our career with Matt Hardy? I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going with this.
I mean, he lost to Hangman, so he essentially lost our money to Hangman.
That's true. That's a good point.
It's kind of a bad deal for a private party.
I don't know where they're going with this, man. It's a real head scratcher. When I saw Matt Hardy pull Darby Allin out, I was like,
he just hates everybody.
I know. I mean, Matt's just like,
He's just
I lost all my money to Hangman, so what am I gonna do about that? Attack everybody else in AEW.
Yep. He's just making enemies left and right. He's got nobody to sign anymore. I guess I thought he was gonna get Nyla and Vicky, but I don't know.
Unless they're going to have a potential tag team match next week.
Maybe they will.
Yeah.
It will.
So.
But yeah, that was the end of AEW Dynamite. So it was nice to see the TNT Championship get the main event. Because even when Cody and Brody were the champs, they weren't. I don't think they were.
Yeah, they rarely. Yeah,
I
they
don't
rarely
think
had the main event.
were
Spot,
they
yeah.
main event. I don't even know if they ever were the main event. Oh, I'm pretty sure the dog collar match was the main event, right?
Oh, guaranteed that was the main event one.
Yeah. So
yeah, and was it the dog collar one when Cody won the dog collar one, right?
yeah.
Okay, and the other one,
the one where he lost to Brody.
he lost to Brody, was also a main event, which was on a Saturday, right? That was a Saturday Dynamite, right? Yeah.
But I think like Cody when he took on Ricky Starks and when he took on Eddie Kingston and then when Brody took on Orange Cassidy, like I don't think those were main events.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think those were main events. Yeah. So
yeah, it's good for I'm always a fan of the titles matches going on last.
One last point before we go off the air here. So it turns out that John Silver was actually injured in the match.
Oh, was he?
Yeah,
like,
I just
legit
read
injured.
He dislocated his shoulder.
Oh, that's not good. And then he just decided to finish the match anyway.
Yeah, more credit to him, man. That must have hurt like hell. But he said the doctor said it doesn't look too serious, and hopefully he'll have an update soon. So good. Good luck to him. Hopefully,
Yeah, hopefully he's not he's not out of action for very much long.
Yeah.
I guess he can still appear with the Dark Order, but just not jump in a match or get physical himself. So
yeah.
But yeah.
I wonder if it was when he went over the.
It might. I mean, it might have been. Yeah.
Yeah, the bike racks there.
They had specifically mentioned, and he was holding his arm pretty bad when he went over that rack. So
yeah,
that could have been it. Yeah. Anything else you want to add before we wrap this up?
That's it for me, man.
All right.
That's it for me.
All right. So that's another week in the books, in the bag. One might say, But wherever you are, wherever you're watching this video, click one of those buttons. Not the one that's like pointed down, but any other buttons are cool if you can. Much appreciated. And we will catch you next week. Right?
Yep. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah.
See you soon.
So until then, be good, stay safe, and all that other good stuff. And thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.